The political rhetoric is deafening. With a fragile ceasefire ticking down, the threat of total destruction is being broadcast daily. Looking at the sheer firepower in the region, the United States holds an overwhelming conventional advantage. They have aircraft carriers loaded with advanced fighter jets, ensuring technological dominance across the board. Iran, on the other hand, operates a heavily outgunned military. Their economy is crippled by years of sanctions, leaving them at a massive disadvantage in a traditional head-to-head war. Given this absolute mismatch in firepower, the obvious question is why the missiles aren't flying. Why is a superpower holding its fire? Having the most advanced military hardware no longer dictates the winner of a conflict if your opponent figures out how to fight on an entirely different battlefield. The definition of geopolitical leverage has shifted. Instead of launching airstrikes, Washington is doing something entirely different. They are sending top-level delegations to Islamabad, Pakistan, for emergency negotiations. Military strategists call this concept asymmetric dominance. It happens when a conventionally weaker power finds a single critical vulnerability in a stronger power and exploits it to neutralize their conventional weapons. By refusing to fight on traditional terms, Iran has forced the world's greatest military superpower to pause its bombers and sit down at the negotiating table. Look at this map of the region. The red box highlights the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow bottleneck separating the Persian Gulf from the Gulf of Oman. If you follow the water up to the Karg Island terminal, you see why this specific choke point matters. A massive portion of the global oil supply originates in this gulf. An Iranian threat to block this narrow transit route effectively holds the entire global economy hostage. When commercial oil tankers like this one can't safely navigate open waters, global supply chains panic. The immediate fallout is a severe spike in oil prices, which bleeds directly into widespread inflation. High gas prices and soaring inflation are political poison for a US president, especially with crucial midterm elections approaching. A foreign conflict that crashes the domestic economy threatens control of Congress. Weaponizing geography to choke global trade acts as a political and military deterrent far more potent than maintaining a massive standing army. This strategy sends immediate shockwaves through neighboring Gulf states. Looking at the sprawling, fragile economic and tourism infrastructure of cities like Dubai, these nations realize they are caught directly in the crossfire. For decades, hosting American military bases was viewed as an absolute guarantee of regional security. Now, with the threat of retaliatory strikes looming, that physical US presence suddenly looks like a prime target. This shift in thinking creates a new friction between the US and its regional partners. Many Gulf capitals are beginning to view these bases not as shields, but as magnets for the very conflict they were designed to prevent. This brings us back to the negotiation table. Operating as a neutral mediator, Pakistan is using shuttle diplomacy, moving constantly back and forth between Washington and Tehran to bridge an immense diplomatic gap. This animated gauge illustrates the core US demand. Washington wants a strict 15-year suspension on nuclear development, pushing enrichment levels from a 60% weapons-grade threshold down to a 20% limit meant strictly for civil use. In exchange, Iran has its own stringent counterdemands. They want the immediate unfreezing of billions in assets held overseas, along with the lifting of economic sanctions that have suffocated their economy. These diplomatic efforts face intense pressure from active proxy spoilers. Israeli leadership, for instance, benefits strategically from regional chaos and actively works to derail the negotiation process. No one in Islamabad is aiming for utopian peace. These talks are about engineering a cold, transactional, and mutually beneficial exit strategy before the ceasefire clock runs out. During these negotiations, Iran's red lines regarding nuclear development are actually somewhat flexible. What they absolutely will not compromise on is the physical survival of their state. The threat to block the Strait of Hormuz is not their actual endgame. It is a highly effective bargaining chip, played exactly when needed to force the US into a dialogue. By surviving the initial military escalation and forcing negotiations, Iran proves it knows exactly how to play its asymmetric cards to achieve its strategic goals. The mechanics of global deterrence have evolved. A weaker nation no longer needs a nuclear weapon to successfully hold off a global superpower. Instead, we see a new defense structure built on geographic choke points, weaponized economics, and stealthy drone technology that easily outmaneuvers traditional military radar. Islamabad has demonstrated that a superpower can be halted by the threat of a global economic shock. In this context, geographic leverage isn't just a tactical advantage, it is a way to make traditional firepower too expensive for a superpower to use.
To stay updated with more insightful, science-backed current affairs worldwide and informative reports like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Subscribing ensures you don't miss any important updates as we continue to bring you well-researched content. If you found this broadcast useful, share it with your family and friends so they can also benefit from this information. Spreading knowledge helps everyone stay informed. We also encourage you to engage with us in the comments, share your opinions, ask questions, and tell us what topics you want covered next. Our team follows your feedback closely. Thank you for watching this broadcast. Stay informed.